So the last document is the Rhode Island Real Estate Sales Disclosure. So as a seller, you have the right to disclose everything you know about the property to the buyer. So on page 1, you're gonna list your name as the seller, you're gonna list the date, the property address, where you currently live, and if you've ever occupied the property, and if you have, how many years or how many months you have. So jumping right into the meat and potatoes. So structure, you wanna list when the house was built, roof, fireplace, if there's any pellet stoves or anything like that, what age is the heating system, underground storage tanks, domestic hot water, you know, how does that work? What is the plumbing system made up of? Electrical service, how many amps are there? If there's any solar equipment, what is the age? The air condition, how old is it? Insulation, like are there any insulation in the walls, the floors, the ceiling? Sewage system, is it private, is it public? Water system, is it private, is it public? And then you're also gonna list like, you know, what your taxes were last year. Fire taxes were, are there any easements? So like, do you have any, like, does any of your neighbors have any rights to like any parts of your property? The deed, is it a warranty deed? Is it a quitclaim deed, trustee? You're gonna list all that. The zoning, like are there any classifications with zoning on your property? Property restrictions, building permits. Have you pulled a permit since you had the house, yes or no? Building code, floodplains, like are you in a flood zone? What is the elevation certificate if you are? Are there any wetlands? Is there any fresh water around? Farms. And then if this is a condo, like this is, if it's not a condo, then you have to fill out section 26. But if it is, you have to state, the association fees and things of that sort. 27, multifamily or other rental property. If it's a multifamily, then you would fill out this section. And then notices and disclosures. So like if there's any pool or any other equipment, you're supposed to list how many years that is and, what is the maintenance history and things of that sort. And then there's lead contamination. Do you know if there's any lead contamination? If there are any lead compliance certificates, then you might want to attach that. Smoke and carbon detectors, are there any? If you have any, you're supposed to attach them. Radon, has the property been tested for radon? Yes or no? Is there any mold? Do you have any insurance claim histories out? And then at the bottom of the document, on page 5, you're gonna see structure. They're going to list out a bunch of places in the house. So your basement, your bulkhead, ceilings, chimney, doors, like, do you know of any defects or anything, or is that information unknown, or it doesn't apply? So you're gonna check mark all those things on those. And then equipment, system, and appliances. So what is included in the sale? So there's a bunch of different options. Some of the most common ones that I see that are clicked off that are included are refrigerator, stove, a whole ceiling fan, washer dryer. Like these things are almost always included in the sale, but they don't have to be included. They just, you know what I mean? They give you the option whether you want to include them or not. And then at the bottom of the document on page 6, it's gonna list any conditions, like are there any asbestos? Is there a cemetery around? Are there any hazard waste, water penetration? You're supposed to, check mark if it's yes, no, or unknown, or doesn't apply. And then at the very bottom of the document, you are gonna sign as a seller, and then the buyer will sign as the buyer. And that is pretty much the document in a nutshell. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to help you guys.